So I'm really excited about changing medicine, and I always thought that the best way to do that was to educate medical students, because they're the future of medicine. So when Dr. Chu contacted me about working on a continuing medical education project, I got really excited, because that's a chance to educate currently practicing physicians to make that change. Continuing medical education, or CME, is regulated by the ACCME, the Accrediting Council for Continuing Education. And last April, before MedicineX Ed, ACCME and MedicineX partnered to host a workshop on including patients in continuing medical education.
So for this workshop, I want to take you a little bit inside of the process that we went through. But as you can imagine, we were guided by the everyone included design principles. So we really sought to not just get together a group, but to come out with design principles, ones that we would take a stance, kind of be that rebel. So who's in the room? As you can imagine, a variety of the stakeholders of most importance. And just to give you a sense of the dynamics of how this played out over the day, understandably, as people come in and kind of find their comfort with those they know, the room began a little bit like this. And as we moved through the day, we kind of gave some sincere effort to kind of mix the room and make sure that the room was as dynamic as the information that we wanted to flow between the different roles. So coming together, breakout sessions, coming together as a group to kind of share and experience what the other groups are working on. What are we really after? Unpacking this problem of how might we be more inclusive. And from some of the presentations you've heard so far, I think you're becoming familiar with the process, but how do we start to turn that into a question? Or in this case, how do we start to even look at the reverse? And when we do, the sticky notes are just flying with answers of everything we know we don't want it to be. So from there, turning it back into the question that we can start to respond to. How might we help learners deeply understand the patient experience? How might we level the playing field? So back and forth as we exchanged the ideas that are emerging, how do we start to narrow this scope and understand where this will lead us into a collection of principles we really value the most? A difficult process at times, for sure. So moving into what to do with all these sticky notes. How do we process and how do we analyze, synthesize what we leave from the workshop? You're looking behind the scenes. A lot of the work that was managed by Justin Lai, one of the MedX designers, handling this for us. What are the insights we're starting to take? And again, how do we distill this? So coming up with our insight statements, how do we inspire curiosity is one of the main themes.
So after all that, we came back to Stanford, to the MedicineX offices, and we managed to distill that all down to just 6 design principles.
And I want to give you a quick glimpse into those. So how best do we build trust? And maybe with each of these, you can kind of take these in and carry these with you after today. How do we truly co-create with patients from the start? How do we inspire the best ways of inspiring curiosity in this process? How can we really work in partnership with patients to overcome some of the hurdles that stand in the way? Creating parity. And lastly, a sincere focus on how do we create inclusion.
So we're extremely excited to announce to you that we have submitted our our report, including the 6 design principles, to the ACCME, and we're currently working on submitting those for publication to a peer-reviewed journal. And we really look forward to updating you on that at Medicine XEd.
Thank you.